back. Today is episode 8. We're going to talk about bow contact with the string. We talked a little bit about this in a previous episode, where we talked about how to build more power out of your sound. We talked a little bit about this. We're just going to see if we can get a little bit more meat out of the subject. So, jumping right in, we're going to talk about a little exercise I learned called the bow to tip exercise, and we combine this with Kreutzer number 2. So remember the episode that in the last episode where we talked about using Kreutzer 2, that etude, that one. Now we're gonna use it to build up our bow technique in a different way. So what we mean by the frog to tip exercise, or tip to frog, however you want to say it, doesn't matter, is that's what the tip to frog exercise is, or frog to tip, however you want to say it. Is you play one note at the frog, one note at the tip, etc., 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 and you go back and forth and back and forth. And oops, I just broke a hair. Happens from time to time. So the beauty of that exercise is that it really trains your hand to react quickly and to adjust. And it gives you great contact with the string, because if you're here and you don't have contact with the string and your hand is not reacting, it's kind of like you're slapping a fish. So in order to get that tight, sharp sound, what you want to do is set the bow really tight. And if you can move it around without making any sound, I accidentally just made a sound there. But you want to have it kind of, I'm doing nothing with my left hand here, it's just holding the instrument. Any movement that's happening is coming because my bow hand is moving, not my left. That's how much power is pent up in my sound. So you want to be able to get your bow to relax and sit on that string really heavy, and then after that it's just a really quick movement. And it almost sounds like a sound at first. And that's the percussive part of it. That's where you get that bite. Over time, that'll get finessed out to be more of a... And that's the ultimate sound you want. But first, aim for that percussive... That tells you you're on the right track, and then over time, you'll smooth it out to the... At the tip, it's a little more difficult because you have to set it. And you can't do this, you can't really do the exact same thing you did down below, because you don't have as much power at the tip, or as much control. So we have to manufacture it. And it's basically the same thing in reverse, you just have to work a little bit more at getting this. And if you're not getting it at first, that's okay. It happens to the best of us. I'm still working on it. But the goal is to get it to sit just like we did at the frog, and do the same type of thing. It's a quick movement. You want that percussive sound. And then over time, that'll get smoothed out to that louder, rounder, smoother sound. So that's about as fast as you'll want to take that exercise. That was already very fast for that technique. Another one that's really basic is just to keep your bow on 100% of the time. Don't ever take it off. If you're doing the... Make sure that your bow is in full contact 100% of the time. And that'll help with that a lot. We can also use Marcato, a Marcato stroke. If you know what a Marcato is, it's a... And we can combine that with the one I just said, keeping your bow on 100% of the time. The fun thing about Marcato is that you don't necessarily stop the sound, you just let it die. sound didn't really stop that entire time. I was just accenting and dying right away. So that's something you can try as well, like use a Marcato stroke to strengthen your contact with the string. The tricky thing about Marcato is that there's the tendency for the bow to slide this way a lot, away from you. So just be aware, like as we talked about in a previous episode, keeping your bow pretty straight. Just be aware of that. Once you feel really confident, you can start using more bow. Alright guys, that's our episode for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked what you saw, and I hope you got some good stuff out of it. I always like working with this stuff. I still work with it all the time, just to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, and my technique is solid. So yeah, if anyone has any other technique ideas or any cool stuff to add to this, or if you want to hear more about this or learn more about it, feel free to drop a comment. And while you're at it, hit like and subscribe and share and yeah, all that good stuff. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and until then, thanks for watching.